So certain teams throughout sports are just known for being clown shows. In the NBA, the Washington Wizards, my former employers, they fall in that category, as well as the Clippers. Now, they are both known for being incredibly unserious organizations. In the NFL, the Cleveland Browns organization is also historically known to be lovable losers, but not too far behind them are the Jets of New York, and this week's firing of Robert Saleh is another glaring example of their perpetual ineptitude. Now, the Jets are the Clippers of the NFL because they are the loser little brother of the New York Giants, who are forced to sleep on the top bunk at MetLife Stadium. For 25 years, they played their home games at Giants Stadium. The Jets, again, played their home games at Giants Stadium. In my lifetime, they haven't won a Super Bowl. Hell, they haven't been to a Super Bowl really since 1969, which is a freaky ass year, by the way. Now, I don't know the full story as to why they fired Robert Saleh, but I do know it wasn't just a football decision. The Jets defense is elite, and that is the side of the football that he hangs his hat on. So it feels like the truth lies somewhere between an egomaniac right-wing owner having a meltdown because he felt embarrassed in front of his tea and crumpet eating friends overseas, all right? Or like the organization is hyper loyal to Aaron Rodgers, someone whose jersey will never ever hang in their rafters. But perhaps the answer is a combination of both. Good leaders, ladies and gentlemen, do not make emotional moves in moments of turmoil. At 2-3, I didn't consider the Jets to be in turmoil by any account. They sit in second in the AFC East, and honestly, the last two games were extremely winnable if it weren't for Aaron Rodgers turning into Deshaun Watson in the fourth quarter. So the Jets get my fumble of the week for not just living up to, but exceeding the expectation of being a woefully embarrassing, directionless organization. Samaria, my question for you, are the Jets the worst run organization in the NFL?
Okay, you were just on me the last segment. You're a Giants fan, sir. So of course you extra hard on the Jets right now.
We won last Sunday. Thank you very much.
What I will say though is that Woody Johnson is a very interesting individual. He believes that he has the best roster in the NFL. He feels like they should be winning more. Like you just mentioned, 2-3. You're one game back from leading the AFC East, so you're not doing bad. It doesn't really make any sense. Of course, he was adamant that Aaron Rodgers had no input in this, but we know that Rodgers, he goes through head coaches, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, I'm not surprised by the news, but I do feel like Saleh maybe wasn't given more time, right? Because truly, you've only had 5 games with Aaron Rodgers because he didn't play any last season. So I'm like, It seems as though you have to be kind of basing it off of whatever rift they have. Jeff Ulbrich is going to be the interim head coach. It's going to be interesting to see how he runs the team moving forward. But
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to be the coordinator and head coach. Like, I don't know, does he have somebody else call the plays now? That's a good point. Now, what I will say, and I alluded to it, it made reference to it in my opening, but I don't know that everyone is familiar. And Eric Mangini, former coach for the New York Jets, said that, well, if you're not familiar, Woody Johnson used to be the ambassador to England under the Trump administration, right? And so Eric Mangini last week said, hey, listen, if the Jets don't perform well, Woody Johnson will consider that a fireable offense because he does not like to be embarrassed in front of his friends. And so the way in which, and it sounds crazy, I know, but when you're talking about these egomaniacal like people who are billionaires and the way that they play, like this is like playing dice for men of this much money, right? And so even in a dice game, you got to be careful because the wrong thing will turn into a bad moment. And I feel like the Jets played so terribly, especially through the first 3 quarters. They were absolutely disgusting to watch. I feel like he was embarrassed in front of his friends and peers and professional friends that he felt like he had said so many great things about this organization to, and he was put in a position to now question or have them question legitimacy of his words in speaking so glowingly about this organization. And the one person that got his head under the guillotine was Saleh. And I don't think it's right, but it can't be for anything on the field because the only person on the field who has let the Jets down the last 2 weeks is Aaron Rodgers. You know, he scored 9 points. 9 points against the Denver Broncos. He had 3 turnovers this last game against the Vikings. And so that's not Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is a defensive-minded coach, and the Jets' defense is top tier. It's a top-tier defense. So he has no reason to be let go. It's all offense-related. Hackett really should have been the one to be let go. But, of course, we know that Aaron Rodgers loves him. So, tough spot. Y'all let us know your thoughts down in the comment section. Do you feel like the firing of Robert Saleh will turn the Jets season around, or is the only way to save their season is by Aaron Rodgers playing adequate football for a 41-year-old man because he's old? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.